Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another Friday faves. Same as last week, just a handful of things, a couple of beauty things, and I've also got some a candle, house thing, a candle, and a food and a drink. I'll start with the beauty because I know that that's what a lot of you are here for, and I just have 2 items. So this could be a quick one for you guys. It's the Pixi Rose Essence Oil. I'm not massively into rose stuff. Pixi do send me things from time to time, and I tend to like their skincare, but it can be quite hit and miss. The makeup less so. But some of my favourite skincare items have been sent to me by Pixi, so just kind of like little disclaimer, I didn't purchase this, but I would. I have had essences in the past, and they're quite difficult to work with because they're really, really watery, so I put them in spray bottles. This is a nice one because it's an essence oil. So it's a duo phase product. You can kind of see as it's separating at the bottom. As I'm moving it around, it's shaken up again. But it's kind of like an essence that's on the top and the oil goes to the bottom. So when you shake it up, it's a little more viscous, a little easier to use. I'll show you. You can put a couple of drops in your hand. So it is still quite watery. And then I put it onto my hands and I put it directly onto my face. Now, what I like about this is it's super lightweight, but it feels really hydrating. So first thing in the morning, when I first wash my face, I like to leave this by the sink and I'll put this straight on. So it just makes it, I never get that tight feeling. Even at nighttime, I've used this. As soon as I've washed my face, especially if I've done like a scrub or a mask or something like that, I like that tight feeling because it feels clean, but I don't want to have that tight feeling for a long time. So I'll put it straight on while my skin is still damp. My skin feels so smooth and hydrated, and I've hardly used any of it, and I've been using it for at least a month. Just a couple of drops, works wonders. The It Cosmetics CC cream, I purchased this again at the beginning of this year, and I was so cross with myself because when I had it last, I had the wrong shade, and the whole time I was using it, I was like, right, remember, the next time you need the lighter shade. So I got this, and I believe I got the shade light, although I cannot for the life of me, I haven't got the lid, so maybe it's on the lid. Cannot find anywhere what the shade is, but I think it's light. I've worn it in the last few days and just completely fallen back in love with it. It is so, so great. Really nice coverage. For someone who doesn't like loads and loads of coverage, it's still kind of medium. But for me, this is a high coverage foundation. It's kind of medium, but it blends out so nicely. I use 1 pump for my entire face. I blend it out with my hands straight over the top of a moisturizer or something, you know, underneath to give me a little bit of hydration, because things do tend to kind of settle into fine lines and dryness these days. Especially with me using tretinoin at nighttime, it can make my skin a little peely. I had this morning, before I tried this, I tried to use something different because I'm trying to mix and match my makeup at the moment, especially with me doing these videos. Just remind myself of some products that I've had and enjoyed. Try some products that maybe I've only tried once or twice, and I'm pulling things out. I tried to use a L'Oreal concealer, and just a concealer, just to kind of blend out. And oh my God, the dryness under my eyes. I didn't even know I had dryness under my eyes, but it kind of all separated and looked awful. So I got all of that on my face and I was like, it's just not going to be a good makeup day. I just don't think anything's going to work at all. I put my SPF back on, which is in a moisturiser anyway, and then put this It Cosmetics CC cream on, and it was like night and day. So I have been using this for a few days anyway, but because of how well it went on this morning, after something else had shown all of the imperfections in like the dryness and all of the awfulness, like if something else would make me look awful, like my skin was peeling off my face, and I put this on and it's like it didn't even exist. So what I've done is I've ordered it in the lighter shade because this is fine, but it's definitely too deep for me. I mean, if I show you it on the back of my hand, I've had to kind of like bronze up my neck to make it black. It's just not the right shade at all. Maybe if I fake tan in the summertime. I don't intend to get a natural tan because every year I say I will not sit in the sun, I will not sit in the sun, and then every year I have one day where I'm like, it's just one day, and then I burn and hate myself for the rest of the summer. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say this will be my summer colour because I'm not going to get a tan every year. However, if I was to fake tan, or if I just wanted like a little bit of extra colour, I could mix that in with the other one. So I have finally ordered what I think is the correct shade for me. I'll keep you posted, but it's just such good stuff. Very highly scented. Might not be for you if you don't like a scented product. And it is almost kind of mask-like. If you are used to a very light foundation, or a light kind of BB tinted moisturizer type product, this might be difficult because one whole pump, it feels like a full-on foundation when I'm putting it on, but it doesn't, it's really, really lightweight on the skin. I can't feel that I'm wearing a heavy foundation. It's really flexible. So as I'm like moving around and, you know, I like to make faces. I edit these videos. I see the faces I pull. I like to make faces. It's very, very flexible. And I don't find that later on when I look at it, it's like, you know, sometimes with, because I pull so many faces, sometimes with certain foundations and bases, I'll see that it's kind of like falling into these lines or underneath my eyes. I don't find that with this at all. And I forgot how much I loved it. Speaking of skin, I have taken to trying some more herbal teas recently. And this has been one of the ones that I don't hate the most. I'm not a fruity tea kind of person because I like less of a sweet drink. I would drink black tea on its own. But the problem I have with black tea is I think it's the tannins in it or something. If I drink it on an empty stomach, it makes me feel sick. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what's in. I'm going to say maybe the tannins. But anyway, I can't drink black tea on an empty stomach. So first thing in the morning or like before a meal or something. But this I can. I don't like to have this like full strength. I couldn't drink this with the bag in there. Or I'll drink it with the bag in the cup because it's like, you know how they go. You know, you're supposed to leave it because you get all of the special nutrients and stuff if you do that. If I was going to do that, then I'd be drinking it quickly and I'd make another cup of tea with the same bag in the same cup. Ideal for me, but I don't really like the full strength. And that way I feel like I'm getting all of the nutrients that's in it because it's telling me it's doing special things. This says it's got biotin in it, which contributes to the maintenance of normal skin and hair. It's probably complete BS, but it's called Twinings Glow Strawberry and Cucumber with Green Tea and Aloe Vera. Again, not massively into the fruity. Previous to this, I tried the one that was like cranberry and lime or something, and that one smelled fruitier than it tasted. This one actually tastes fruity. I wanted to talk about it because I'm not a herbal tea person, but this one I am quite enjoying. If we're calling quite enjoying, I don't hate it. Mostly trying to do the herbal tea thing because I don't want to drink as much milk because I think milk is not agreeing with me quite so much. I'm still having a coffee pretty much every day. But I think what I'm also going to try and do, because I've tried the milk substitutes, I just can't. I think what I'm going to try and do is wean myself onto black coffee because I think that's probably more likely being able to do that than me doing the milk substitute thing. But I also don't know, you know, if you have got like an intolerance or if you have an issue with milk, if you like work your way down to like a semi-skim skim, does that help? A food thing. Those of you who've been with me for a long time will know. I used to be obsessed with these. You used to be able to get them in the UK anywhere. I used to have them imported and they were very expensive, or every time we went to America I would buy a bag and it would be like really, really special. And then basically, as soon as you could get them in Asda and Tesco and Morrison's, I completely fell out of love with them and was like, I don't even care about them anymore. So I had them recently at my friend's. She did like, you know, like a kind of picky tea, a platter of things. And I don't know if actually, I might be making this up because I might have taken them. I think I'd picked some things up to take to put, you know what, I might have bought them actually. But I did have them at my friend's house. I just kind of picked some stuff up from Tesco to take. And actually I think I did take those with me. But put them in a bowl, couldn't stop eating them. And so these are now my sweet thing of choice. I really go through phases with sweet stuff because I'm not a massive sweet tooth. I like a little bit of something. But I'm mostly like a pudding person. I'm not really into, I like them, but I'm not like someone who can like sit and eat a whole packet of biscuits. That's not appealing. But I could eat an entire jam roly-poly with custard. I like puddings. But something that's got kind of like a sweet and salty thing to it, like these pretzel flips. And it has to be the white fudge ones. I think back in the day, like way back, because when I was a kid, they were in the UK, and they had some dark chocolate ones. I may have to look out for those and see if I still like those, because I think I did like the dark chocolate ones as well, but the white fudge were definitely my favourite. Can anyone remember that? Because I was probably, I'm trying to think what year it must have been. Late 90s. And flips were like at the corner shop. They were like just available. And then for many years, I heard nothing about them. and then they were in America and you could order them. I mean, this is like when they went away, you couldn't have ordered them from America very easily because it just wasn't like, people just didn't have access to the internet like they do now. So maybe they never went away in America, but I'm babbling now. Speaking of things you can only get in America, and I apologise if this is true, but the reason I'm mentioning this is I know Next have started selling Bath & Body Works candles now, and some people, their Next at Home has a full-on Bath & Body Works section. We have a decent size Next at Home next to Meadowhall in Sheffield, and I haven't been for a long time. Recently, my friend Sean, he messaged me a picture of his local Next, and I couldn't believe it was like a full-on Bath & Body Works store in the corner of this Next at Home. So I think I'm going to have to go and see whether or not we've got one of those, because I'm guessing it's only in certain kind of flagship stores, but that's a little bit special. That's a little bit exciting. So what I wanted to mention was I think now, and I've tried lots and lots, non-season specific is what I'm trying to say. Season non-specific, doesn't matter what time of year it is, this is 100% my favourite candle. And I do like the mahogany teak wood, I like various other, but this is amazing. This is the Lavender and Cedarwood. Oh, I love it so much. I've only had this before in a room spray. You can buy them on eBay. You can get the room sprays quite easily, and you only need one spray, and it really is a strong thing. So if you're not into candles, or you don't want to pay like an exorbitant amount to ship a candle from America, you can find the room sprays quite easily. And I find that they pack a really good punch for your money, because you can get loads and loads and loads of uses, and you scent the entire room with one spray of those. And it's really, really strong. And I've always picked up those room sprays when we've been to America. Most recently, I got the candles of this as well. I love it. 100% by far my favourite. I'm not a lavender person usually, but the lavender and cedarwood, it's like warm. What does it say on the bottom? Usually tells you stuff, doesn't it? But maybe it's not going to tell me because it's called lavender and cedarwood. It's giving me nothing, but that's basically what it is. It's just kind of like a warm, comforting smell, and I could burn this at any time of the day. Quick mention, I do have a video coming up on the tongs that I mentioned in last Friday faves. I did my hair today for that video, just to show you this is how I use the tongs, especially since I've had my hair actually styled, when I've had my hair actually cut into a style. So now I've got some layers to play with. I think it looks really, really nice curled like this. I showed you how I curl it just normally, you know, like a normal person. You don't need a tutorial for that, but it was requested that I show how I used it, so I showed you how I used it. But also how I pin the top part, you know, do like the pin curls, because that tends to last a little bit longer on me, and the front sections of my hair do drop a little bit quicker than the rest. So if you're interested, stay tuned for Sunday's video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for more Friday Faves.